following is a presentation of William Patterson University Television.
Welcome back to the desk. A great week of NFL action was overshadowed by something much bigger. Danny, what you got for us this week?
Well, yeah, President Trump's comments led to some league-wide protests. Let's take a further look here.
At a rally Friday, President Trump said players who kneel should be fired.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a off the field right now, out, he's fired.
Trump took to Twitter to continue his tirade on Sunday morning, saying that if NFL fans refuse to go to games until players stop disrespecting the flag and country, you will see change take place. NFL attendance and ratings are way down. Boring games, yes, but many stay away because they love our country. Leagues should back U.S. Here we see the Jaguars just a few hours later across the pond in London protesting along with the Ravens. Many players kneeling, some standing. There you see the Packers linking arms to show unity. Go over to Cincinnati, we got Andy Dalton. And again, some Packers didn't even get off the bench. And then here we see, we're going to move on over here to Alejandro Villanueva, who only player from the Steelers to come out of the locker room after serving 3 tours in Afghanistan. Bears are all taking knees and linking arms. Here we see it on Monday night as well from Arizona. Zeke Elliott there. And then we also, the most surprising part of the week here is Jerry Jones, who made it very clear that Cowboys were not to kneel during the anthem. He actually joined them in their protest kneeling before the anthem started to play.
Danny, we'll keep it with you. Do professional athletes have the right to use their platform to protest?
So here's my thing. Not only do they have the right, I think they have the duty and the obligation to. These guys have a voice, and they have the power to make change. And a lot of people make the argument, oh, they do this, and then they go to their $1 million house. What are they mad about? It's even more admirable that they're the ones doing it, because they don't have to put their neck out on the line like this. They don't need to be facing this kind of scrutiny, and they're putting their necks out on the line to stand up for the people who can't stand up for themselves. I think it's great.
Kelly, what do you think?
I think that, first of all, they're protected by their First Amendment rights to freedom of speech and freedom of expression, and I have to commend the NFL for backing their players. Regardless of what beliefs anyone has, it's just refreshing to kind of see this kind of unity in the sports community and on the field when the president's statements have been so divisive.
Justin?
I agree with everybody. Regardless of your political affiliation, Republican or Democrat, we're all Americans. And if pro athletes have to use their platform to reach as many people as they can to voice problems that they think should be fixed, they absolutely should.
Make it 4-4 desk. I agree with everyone here. It's crazy though, because all the owners are very big Trump supporters. A lot of them donated to Trump, so you know it's kind of hurting them a little bit to join union with their players. But after Trump's comments, you have to agree with them, especially after what he called them SOBs. A lot of these players, I agree with them taking knees. You're not disrespecting veterans. I understand a lot of people are burning tickets and burning jerseys and everything, but these players, they're doing it for their right. You know what I mean? So I agree with the players. I agree with everyone on this desk right now.
We'll move on to a much lighter subject, a big topic. The NFC East is a tight one. It's been a great race. Every year it's a great race. Right now the Eagles look good, the Cowboys look good, Giants not so much, Redskins a little on the border. Is there a clear favorite to win the NFC East? Danny, we'll start with you.
I mean, this NFC East division is tough. I mean, if you want to take a look at their offensive stats here, I mean, you got Washington leading the pack with, okay, we'll talk about the defense. Yards allowed here. The Redskins are clearly the best defense in the division, only allowing 272 points per game. They're also averaging themselves getting 370-plus yards per game. That 100-yard margin is huge. It's tough to beat a team that can compete like that. Eagles, they're at the bottom of the pack as far as defensive yards allowed goes, but their offense is keeping up to the point where they can keep winning. And then despite look at the Giants, 334 yards allowed per game. Between that and Eli running for his life, it's tough for that team to string some wins together.
Offense line is terrible. What I was going to say is the offenses, though, especially for Washington, Kirk Cousins and Chris Thompson have been doing their balling out there and doing their thing. Eagles, like you said, offensively have been killing it. You know, it's crazy because now Darren Sproles is out. They don't have that big spark play anymore. That's why they re-signed Kenyon Barner, which could be a big spark, but because they got LeGarrette Blount as the bruiser and all that. So I think the Eagles, to me, are my pick right now to win this division right now.
Justin?
Redskins, I think, are going to win the division simply because they play lights out against the Oakland Raiders, who, for many people, are just odds-on favorites to win the AFC East. And Kirk Cousins, he doesn't care who he's throwing to. He has Terrell Pryor, who's a former quarterback, playing wide receiver, who was a 1,000-yard receiver last year with the Browns. They can do some serious damage, and I think they'll win the division.
Kelly?
I agree. I'm going to go with the Redskins. I know they lost to Philly in week 1, but in all honesty, I agree with you as well with Chris Thompson. What a versatile player. He's out there receiving, he's running the ball. I think that Jay Gruden is foolish if he doesn't use him in a bigger role going forward.
Now we'll switch over from the NFC East to the AFC East, where things have been upside down lately. The New York Jets actually picked up a big win against the Miami Dolphins. Did teams underestimate the Jets going into the season? Are we giving them too little credit or too much credit? Pat, we'll start with you.
I'm going to look at this camera. Absolutely not. The Jets played Jay Cutler, and we all know what Jay Cutler is, a mediocre quarterback who's not very good. I give the Jets credit. They absolutely embarrassed the Dolphins. You know what's crazy? The Jets got the Jaguars and the Browns coming up. The Jets might win 3 in a row, but after that, they still got to play the whole AFC West. They're not doing anything. They might go 4-12.
Justin?
I think this game against the Dolphins was just a fluke. Jay Cutler's just an interception waiting to happen. And Josh McCown's doing his job as a veteran quarterback. He's just showing how the young kids can play. But aside from that, when they play like division rivals like the Patriots, they're not going to do much, and they're not going to have many more wins after this.
Danny?
4-12, Pat. That is generous. I mean, I don't care if they beat the Dolphins 100-0. It's a divisional game. It's a team that they know what to expect when they take the field against them. They were home, but listen, they got to play them again in Miami. They still got to play the Patriots twice. I mean, Josh McCown is not the guy to get it done. I mean, I think we gave the Jets just the right amount of credit. If you're a Jets fan, don't get too excited after this one.
Josh McCown will probably get hurt very soon too, as he always does.
Kelly, what do you think about the Jets?
I think this is just another example of, Jets and their fans over-celebrating any small victory. And, I mean, they've got a tough schedule coming up. Not only do they have to play the Patriots twice, but they also have to play the Falcons. They have to play the Chiefs. It's always like this with the Jets. It's always an over-celebration.
One standout for the Jets is Jamal Adams, a great rookie. We've seen a lot of great rookies shine early on in this season. Is this potentially one of the best rookie classes we've ever seen? I know it's only been 3 weeks, but is this one of the best, Danny?
Right. I mean, it is early to make that call, but this is the best one I can remember since at least like 2007. I mean, you have the quarterbacks, you have Deshaun Kaiser, who hasn't been great, but he's definitely playing okay, especially considering he wasn't a very high draft pick. So it's not like you took this guy looking for a new franchise, and there's not much around him, and he's doing okay. Deshaun Watson almost got it done in Foxborough. I mean, not to mention all the great running backs, Tariq Cohen, Leonard Fournette, Christian McCaffrey, and then you got 2 guys who might be MVP.
Justin?
Yeah, the 2 guys who you forgot to mention are probably the 2 most standouts from this draft in Kareem Hunt and Dalvin Cook. Let's take a look at their stats of how they're doing so far this season. Kareem Hunt is astonishing. He's rushing about 400 yards per game this season so far, and 8.5 yards per carry. That's ridiculous. And he also has 6 touchdowns. And he's not just a runner. He's versatile in the passing game and has 137 passing yards on the season. Also with Dalvin Cook, he has 288 yards, and he had an astonishing debut against the Saints, yes, thank you. In Monday Night Football on opening week. And along with them, you have Jamal Adams and Malik Hooker, who could be probably the 2 of the best safeties of this generation. So I think, it's too early to tell, but they have the potential to be one of the best draft classes.
Pat, quickly, any names that stick out to you?
This year, I mean, my guy Garrett Bowles, I'm a big Bronco fan. He's killing that left tackle so far, but these running backs are amazing as well.
Kelly, anyone stick out to you?
I mean, Kareem Hunt. 8.5 yards per carry, and I would say that he's probably on track to maybe even break Eric Dickerson's record. I mean, yeah, good player to kind of keep your eye on.
That 8.5 a carry is staggering. That is insane.
That's all the time we have for this episode of WP Sports Desk. Thank you to our analyst crew and studio manager, Al Clarke. From Studio B in Hobart Hall, I'm Chris Turner-Demondo, and we'll see you next time.